And the two dimensions occur not when you have a 0 on the other side, but when you have a y. You have to be able to tell the difference between the two. Okay? This one has a y instead of a 0. That means you're going to be graphing with an x and a y axis as opposed to just an x axis or a number line. Okay? And you're just going to be graphing a parabola here, taking all kinds of different things that you've learned this year and putting them together. So we're going to graph the parabola, and then we're going to use our shading concepts from chapter 2 with the parabola. So the vertex of this parabola is opposite of b over 2a, comma, plug and chug. And when I do that, I get -1, -5. You can check my work if you want to. I get -1, -5. So we got -1, -5. It's going to be a standard 1, 3, 5, 7 parabola because a is 1. And it's going to be a dotted parabola because of the greater than sign as opposed to the greater than or equal to sign. That parabola separates the points that work in the inequality from the points that don't work. That beautiful curve separates the true points from the false points. Off to infinity. It doesn't stop at the top of the graph paper. So what we need to do is we need to figure out where the true points are and where the false points are. So we're going to test 0, 0, which is inside the parabola. And I get 0 is greater than -4. And that is true. 0 is greater than -4. So since it's true, it should be shaded. And so the shaded area should be inside the parabola. All right? The purple points, you could test any of them, and they will work inside the inequality. Any of the points outside the parabola will not work when you put them in. Adhering to our year-long theme of what is the mystery number that works in the inequality or the equation. Do you see how we're just taking things that we already know and kind of combining them?
Yes.
This isn't really new. Let's go again. Y is less than or equal to x squared plus 10x plus 23. See if you can do it. The 1, 3, 5, 7. Standard with a solid parabola. When I test 0, 0, I get 0 is less than or equal to 23, which is true. So 0, 0 should be shaded. And so the outside of the parabola should be shaded. For those of you looking for a shortcut, if the y is on the left, if it's less than, you should be shading under the parabola. If it's greater than, you should be shading above or on top of the parabola. But the y has to be on the left for that to be true, and alone. Now I want you to try one that's a little more challenging. Try this one. My vertex is -3/4, comma. Well, you got to put it -3/4. -49/8. You keep shoving this over?
No.
Okay, -49/8, which, this would be a good time to find a decimal, is -6 point very small. So you can put your vertex right there. Now our 1, 3, 5, 7 has got to be multiplied by 2, because A is 2. So when you take your 2, you basically do the same thing that you always do, only you leave the dot in the same spot in the square. It's not on an intersection, it's kind of floating. So you're going to have to go over 1, up 2, and leave it in that same area. So 2 is going to look like that. See how I kind of put the dot in the same general location as the vertex. And then you just keep going. You put in 6. I have room for 10. Dotted parabola. Those ugly things. 0, 0 gives you 0 is less than negative 5, which is false. So 0, 0 does not work. So your shade would be around the outside.